Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of November the 15th, 2024. Alita and Motoko Kusanagi, I hope I got that right, Alita Battle Angel and Ghost in the Shell, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga, Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me is Matu from France. How's it going, Matu?
Bonsoir, it's doing well. And you, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. No problems here in good old Colorado. A little bit nippy, but, you know, still not too bad. Not as cold as it was last week anyway. And I guess we got from Fountain, Colorado, my almost neighbor is Lee. How's it going, Lee?
Going pretty good.
And mein Freund from Deutschland, we have Wir haben Smendrick 19.
Hello, grüß Gott, everybody.
Yeah, grüß
Hope
Gott.
you are doing well.
Grüß Gott, Smendrick, es ist gut von Sie zu hören. Oh, we had Do Not Stand By, but we lost him. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get him back.
Yeah, maybe just had an internet glitch or something like that. So how's everybody doing? What's going on there with you, Matu? Anything going on? Oh, wait a minute. We got Lottie coming on from the Shires in the UK.
Stomping in fashionably late.
Fashionably, that's right.
Indeed.
Not that we're all slaves to fashion, but we are. but we are fashionable at times, I guess.
No.
So
But I am in a way with Hot Toys Alita. I've got to keep her fashionable.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, how are things going there in France, Matu? How are you doing?
Cold. It's cold.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh, there's Do Not Stand By. How's it going, Do Not Stand By from Arvada, Colorado, my almost neighbor?
Yeah, good, Creek. The snow was pretty heavy last week, but it's all melted now, and
yeah,
looking forward to a nice weekend.
Yeah, we have still some on the ground, but it's it's just kind of residual stuff. It's not too bad, you know. So anyway, and Lee, how's it down there in Fountain?
Rather warm. We've lost all the snow we got.
Oh, have you? How much snow did you guys get down there, Lee?
Might have been a few inches. I mean, it got cold and icy too, so that didn't help things. But it didn't last more than a few days, and now it's pretty much gone. Yeah,
for those of you who speak metric, Lee's about 60 miles south of my house, but that's about like 90 kilometers, I guess, something like that. So. Anyway,
about 100,
maybe
10 kilometers, maybe.
Yeah, that's right, because you're south of Colorado Springs, aren't you? Forgot about that.
So I'm even further south than that.
Yeah, that's right. And Smendrick, how are things in Deutschland?
Yeah, it's getting more and more winter, but no snow yet here. Here in my area, in some areas in Germany, we have already snow.
Okay.
But nothing to talk.
Okay, yeah, we had some too. So anyway, that's good. Vladdy, what about there in the UK, man? What's going on?
Yeah, it's all good here. It's all very mild. It's not very cold here either. It's not even getting below 10, really.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Well, like in the day.
Yeah. Is England on the metric system? I didn't think they were.
We do centigrade.
Ah, Celsius. Yes, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah. Okay. And Do Not Stand By. I guess you guys, you probably got about the same kind of weather, I guess, that Lee and I got. So.
Yeah, we didn't get hit as hard as eastern Colorado, so it melted after maybe a day or two.
Yeah. Yeah, they got it pretty bad in eastern Colorado because that cold front, the center of it, I guess, went right through them, didn't it? That area's out there like Burlington and those places, right?
Yeah, from what I read, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So anyway, and see, Lee, I pulled up the slide in time this time. So
okay.
Cool. All right, folks. Well, just
right.
I'm sorry.
Nearly a full house tonight.
Yeah. So anyway, the Creek has got 208,000 subscribers now, and we're on our way to 250,000. So we're going to get there eventually. So probably be early next year sometime, I would guess. I have,
Your Netflix video is smashing it too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I checked this morning. I haven't checked lately, but it had 11,000 views. I didn't promote it right away when I uploaded it. I promoted it, like about 3 or 4 days after that. But it's been averaging well over 2,000 views a day, which is pretty good.
Well, it's doing a good job. Alita's currently number 5 in England.
That's great.
Yeah, my brother sent me a picture of it.
Yeah,
I've got him streaming it now on Netflix to add to the minutes watch time.
Nice.
Because I've been voting for him in Big Brother in my country, the reality show. And I was like, can you put Alita on your phone whilst you're doing that? Thanks.
Bad man, I do not have 208,000 slides today, so
he's probably not far off though.
Yeah, no, I don't. I have a few. So anyway,
they make the whole screen just fine.
But this is all about the Alita
structure. I love it.
Well, this is about the Alita Army, because you see all those other channels I'm also featuring on my channel. Certainly the Alita Army channel, and then Turlo Dorman's Alita Army, and Chaos Nova, and KranberriJam, and all them. Culture Casino, Odd Job, and all these folks, that they're big Alita fans. So, we definitely put them on there. So, to make sure we can spread the love, as they would say, for our girl. So because we want that sequel, Disney, that's the way it works there. And we do have Rose's Queen Studios bust. She knows I have it, and she knows we want to give it to her. And when she's ready, she'll let me know, and we'll definitely get that thing to her.
And she knows how stunning she is. So she should definitely want her. Like, I'm looking at her now, and I was telling Shmenja before when we were streaming Cloudpunk. You just look over when there's some boring dialogue happening in the game, and you're just like, there she is, stunning.
There's Alita, yeah. Well, yeah, this is I guess the scale 1-to-1 figure, isn't it?
It's like having Alita in your living room.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't really describe how it feels. Very strange, almost.
Yeah. By the way, Bad Man. Yeah, Odd Job. That's not Odd Job from James Bond. Odd John, I should have said. I said Odd Job. I think. Yeah.
Isn't he the one that throws the hat with the?
Yeah, throws a hat that's got a razor blade edge on it or something. Yeah.
He was legendary. And do you remember GoldenEye 64? I swear he was a legendary guy in that.
So anyway, Rosa does want the bus, so as soon as she's ready, we'll get it to her. And Alita sequel petition. In 5 weeks, we have added 81 signatures, and it's trucking right along now, averaging about 16 a week. So that's pretty good. And I think it's some of that now. I'm not sure how much of it is from the promotion. I'm not sure how much of it is from Netflix. It's probably a combination of both, so people see it. And of course, it's going to probably keep going as long as Alita stays on Netflix, which, and it's very encouraging that Alita is doing so well on Netflix, because that just gives us more ammunition, to get that sequel, And by the way, it's not a sequel. It's sequels. We want 2 sequels because James Cameron is working on 2 sequels.
At minimum.
Yeah. At minimum, we want 2 sequels, but the Creek wants 6 sequels or 5 or whatever it is. I want as many movies as I can get, and I want our Queen Rosa to be in them too. I want her to be Alita, and I want, well, you know what I want? I just want it. And if these people don't give it to me, I'm going to be upset, and I'm going to just keep doing videos till they cave in. That's what I'm going to do. So, but anyway, if you haven't signed a petition, just put your name and your email address on there. And certainly you've signed it. And really, you could, if you want, you can donate to this. In other words, you can help promote it yourself. You don't have to do that. If you just sign it and put just sign the petition by putting your name and email address on there, you've done your part, But if you want to give a little money, no amount's too small, and just put that money in there, and it'll go toward promoting our girl getting a sequel. Because it says sequel here because this thing was actually started before James Cameron said that he was working on these sequels, Alita 2 and 3, I think is what he said in that interview he did with Forbes magazine, I think it was. So it's coming, folks. And I have a lot of confidence that we're going to get it. So, we just keep hanging in there and keep doing what we're doing to promote our girl. So, and we got the Alita Gaming Network. Last Monday, I guess it was, we played Ghost in the Shell, which gave me the idea for the topic today, for the stream. But we played Ghost in the Shell, and we kind of had a lot of fun with that. And Matu and I were talking prior to the stream, and maybe we ought to play the anime. There's two, isn't there, Matu? There's 2 animes of episodes for Ghost in the Shell, I think.
Oh no, there's like 2 full seasons,
Ooh.
several other. Yeah, it's really long anime. There are several seasons, several spin-offs, several different adaptations because there are several different versions of the manga. There are 2 animated movies too. No, there's a lot of content about Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I guess we won't just play it and say, okay, we played it. Because if there's 2 whole seasons, I mean, we'd be there all night, wouldn't we? But we could certainly play, maybe the first season of the. Oh, we lost somebody. Who did we lose? Did we lose somebody?
Mendrick.
Yeah, Mendrick. Yeah, that's right.
Standalone Complex might be a good one to go with.
Standalone what?
Standalone Complex. It's one of the animated series.
Yeah, this is like Standalone Complex, and after that you have Second JGN. And then you have other spin-off and other series. Some of them are on Netflix.
Cool. Well, what I'll do then is I'll consult with Matu and Lee to see which would be a good one to start out with on the gaming network then. So,
okay.
Yeah. And Smendrick is backstage, but he says he needs to connect his mic and cam. So he's not.
He was having some issues earlier when we were streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still backstage. We'll let him in when he gets there. So anyway, if you can join us on there, there's a link below our Chibi Alita right there, our mascot for the Alita Gaming Network. And Smedrick is now on, but his camera looks like it's shooting straight up in the air. So yes, there's our girl right there. Yes.
So yeah,
that's nice.
Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you fine. Yeah.
That was the trick, but StreamYard disconnected me due to the. Yeah, that's
looks like,
how I got.
Oh, so she was going to comb her hair, huh?
Yeah. And look what we have here.
You have to put us side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah, beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on her, but I haven't got around to it yet. It's going to look gorgeous.
Ooh,
anyway, that's
nice. Yeah, my
because with a shiny body, it just matches when you have like.
Mine is more in drinking. Yeah.
Well, of course, she's in Germany. What do you expect? Oh, we lost. Oh gosh, we lost. Do not stand by.
Yeah.
He got sick of our Queen Studios Alita flexing.
Nah, nobody gets sick of that. By the way, for you in the chat, this is the version. This is what we want to give Rosa. That we want to give her that big It's a statue or bust or whatever. That's what we're going to give her. So when she's ready. So. Okay, so anyway, there's if you want to if you want to join the gaming network, Alita Gaming Network, there's a link there below the image there on the screen. That link is also down in the description below the screen here, and you can click on that, and it'll take you right to it. And Matu set that up for us, where she set up where it's a permanent link. You click on it, you're invited, you can join. I haven't kept up with, I haven't been on it that much lately because I've been kind of busy, but I know we did have 30 people on there, but I'm not sure how many we got now. So I have to go look at it sometime. So, okay, well, I guess that's that. So I guess we can kind of get into, the two titular characters here, in both of now, basically, there's a couple of things here. We're going to talk about the anime a little bit later.
We should have done the watch party before this stream.
We did.
Oh, when was that?
Monday.
Last Monday. Damn it! I need to be reminded. You've got to message me.
Well, I put it in the text, in the watch party text.
Yeah, I was probably just busy.
Yeah. Well, we can watch it again sometime. It's no big deal.
No, I've seen it a few times anyway, like the movie and the anime. So
yeah. Now, this is primarily going to be with the movie, but we are going to talk a little bit about the anime for both. Of course, Alita Battle Angel only has 2 episodes of anime, and of course, as Matu and Lee was pointing out to us, is that that they basically there's. Well, let me do some adjustment here. Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job here, folks. Oh, here's what I want. There it goes. Now I got it. It helps when you push the right buttons. So anyway, we're going to talk about the anime after we get through, the movie part of this, but just a little bit about the story. Now, we all know the story of Alita. She in the movie, she wakes up in the scrapyard. Well, she didn't wake up in the scrapyard. She wakes up in I guess one of the guest rooms in Ito's clinic, I guess. But
no, he wakes up in his daughter's room.
Yeah, she wakes up in his daughter's room. That's right, and it wasn't a guest room. That's right. But anyway, she Ito discovers her in the scrapyard. He puts her in the doll body, and she wakes up in his daughter's room and comes downstairs. And you guys all know the story. She doesn't have any memories of her past. She doesn't even know her name. The very basic stuff she does, like she knows English, and of course she discovers that she knows Panzerkunst as the movie goes on. But it's we know that story, and now with Motoko Kusanagi, I guess it's similar in some ways, except the way the story is in the movie. And I only saw part of one episode in the anime, so I'm not sure about how the anime goes. But basically, what happens, Motoko, she runs away from home, I guess, because of fear of the police are after her or something like this, and she takes up in the street, I guess, with some other kids. She was just a teenager, I guess, and then of course the authorities get her and they take her brain out of her body and they put it in a cyborg body, kind of similar to what Alita, she's basically a full cyborg, but and then she has all these abilities, so certainly with Alita, she was built by the Techniki and Motoko.
Minor quibble there. It's actually Technarchy.
Technarchy? Okay.
Yeah, which is an odd form of government that I found out about recently that apparently is featured in other sci-fi universes as well.
Ah, you mean even on Mars?
Well, I think Marvel Universe actually had a villain race or something like that had a Technarchy as a form of government.
I see, like an anarchy except a technarchy.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like similar to a technocracy, but it has some differences that I guess differentiate it.
Yeah, because I wrote it the way I heard it, technarchy,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way they pronounce it, even though it's spelled differently. But she's built, you know, by you know,
The United Republics of
scientists and,
Mars, yeah.
yeah, the ERM, yeah, and by engineers, and of course, so was Motoko Kusanagi. She was built by Honka Robotics, you know, and that's
In fact,
it's
I think in the one of the animateds, they actually show a cyborg body going through the stages of being constructed.
ah.
Yeah, they have like the skeletal structure it starts with, and it goes into these nanofluids that start putting flesh onto the bones, forming musculature and things.
They kind of show that in the movie. I got a slide coming up on that, by the way. They kind of do show that up on the movie. They don't show how they built the structure, you know, the skeletal structure, but they do show it going through that fluid, you know, in which I guess some kind of it's not a plastic, but it's similar to that, I guess. And then of course it builds flesh, like kind of like they grow flesh, I guess, on the Terminators, probably, you know, something like that. But
can we put clips in this? There's a really cool clip in the movie where they like build her body.
yeah, I
I
can't play the clips for fear of
play it
getting
without
yeeted.
sound.
Yeah, but I didn't do that. So if you want to, somebody want to pull that up, I'll play it as long as we don't have the sound on, you know.
Foxfire did a really cool like mashup music video type thing with both of like Alita and Motoko being built, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Alita here too is we're going to put her in her berserker body because her doll body is not as advanced as Motoko Kusanagi's
Put her in it
cyborg
for what?
body.
Do you mean like them fighting?
No, we're not going to have them fight each other. We're just
for
gonna
comparison purposes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because the doll body is kind of like the civilian body in a lot of ways. It doesn't have any special.
Yeah, it's built with technology
features.
native to the Iron City.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas, you know, Motoko Kusanagi's body is really advanced technology. You know, I mean,
not to mention also the doll body wasn't really Alita's body.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was
yeah. When I think of
Alita's
what is
daughter's
Alita's body, I think of that berserker body. I don't think of the doll body.
Yeah.
Well, the doll body was an Alita's body, but not that Alita.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure, you know.
Well, it's like she said with the when she got in the berserker, it felt more like her.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
doll body never did.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It was more like her.
And of course, in the manga, she's in like 11 different bodies, including a human body. So, you know.
Yeah, I like how the bodies have more like emotional impact for her as a character.
Yeah,
than they do in what I've read so far in the manga.
Whereas in the movie in Ghost in the Shell, you know, I mean, basically there's two bodies. One of them is you see at the very beginning, they're rolling her in there on a gurney, you know, and then of course they take her brain out and put it in a cyborg body, you know. So she's got two bodies, I guess, in that. But I don't know about the anime now. I don't know, or the manga, you know. Alita's a hunter warrior for sure, but among other things, certainly she played motorball and she worked for the Toon program in a different body. But you know, she's been doing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different things, you know, in many different bodies. Yeah, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. And Motoko Kusanagi is an anti-terrorist operative, you know, that I guess Honka Robotics built these cyborgs for the government, the Japanese government, to fight terrorists, you know, and they're very effective, you know, at doing that. I'm not sure about the next line there. Certainly, I'm sure about Alita. I mean, not her doll body, but her berserker body is advanced nanotech, you know, and it's you know, from the actually, I guess it's more like from the 23rd century, not the 26th century, but it's still the most advanced cyborg body in her universe. And with Motoko Kusanagi, I'm not sure that's the nanotech she has, but it is extremely advanced technology, you know, because she has some pretty cool things she can do, you know.
Well, it could be argued that nanotechnology features heavily in the construction of her body. And
could be, yeah.
More than likely, there's a lot of nanotechnology of various types in the body.
Yeah.
But it's not like a morphing nanotech.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess Alita, she's got the antimatter microreactor heart. And I'm not sure about Motoko Kusanagi's. I mean, she's got an advanced cybernetic heart, that's for sure. Oh, by the way, a couple of differences. Alita, the only thing that's human about her in the movie is her brain. With Motoko Kusanagi, her brain and her spinal cord are human. You know, the rest of her, or I think, is robotic, you know, or cybernetic rather. So anyway. Alita has certainly superhuman strength and speed. We know that from other streams we've done. And of course, Motoko Kusanagi has got superhuman strength, and we'll see this later on in a slide I've got. She's not particularly fast though, like Alita is. Alita, you know, can run really fast, you know. And I think
I know I've seen evidence that she does have, at the very least, the high end of human capability as far as speed.
But I wouldn't call it superhuman speed.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah. And of course, Alita's got that plasma weapon, and Motoko Kusanagi's got a really cool invisibility kind of weapon.
That's the thing. I don't think that's inherent in her. I think that's actually a skin suit that she wears.
Oh, is that right?
Because she also has to wear at least in the anime anyway, she had to wear sort of like a loose hood that she pulled down over her face and head.
Well, she didn't have to do that in the movie. As I remember, I don't think she did. But but anyway, she can go invisible. That's for sure. You know.
Yeah.
Certainly, Alita knows Panzerkunst. You know, and I don't know what martial art that Motoko uses.
I wouldn't doubt she's probably trained in a number of different styles.
Yeah, probably different styles, but they don't mention it in the movie like they do in Alita Battle Angel. And of course, Alita's a Martian, and Motoko Kusanagi is an Earthling. So you know, but they're pretty similar in a lot of ways. I mean, even their hair is similar, you know, and to some level, you know. Now the eyes are different for sure. They got different kinds of bodies, you know, for sure. You know, I mean, I don't think, well, Motoko Kusanagi doesn't have an inherent plasma weapon, that's for sure, you know, but she does have some pretty cool abilities. So anyway, any thoughts about these two, you guys?
Well, as far as the basics, you seem like you covered it pretty well.
I guess. I don't know as much about Motoko Kusanagi as I do Alita, obviously.
I'll admit I don't really myself, but I have seen quite a few of the Ghost in the Shell shows.
Yeah. Yeah,
she didn't have that same period of like childlike naivety as Alita had at the start.
You saying she didn't?
No, I don't think she did. Not in the movie, she didn't. I don't know about
Not in the movie. Did she have it in the anime? I don't think so.
I don't remember her seeing her have any kind of childlike sort of qualities.
Well, not necessarily childlike, just I don't know what the word is.
Well, I know when Motoko Kusanagi went back to visit her mother when she discovered where she lived in the movie.
Yeah, that was sweet.
I guess her mother had lost her. She said several years. I don't know how many years, but she was evidently like probably in her late teens. Is what she was, you know, I think. Although it don't really say that, but you know, she was probably in her late teens, and now, of course, she's you know, a woman for sure. You know, so it's kind of like Alita. You know, Alita is a woman. You know, I mean, she's certainly 18 or 19 years old, but you know, that's still a woman. You know, I mean, for sure. You know, so. You know, but I don't think there was any naivete with Motoko Kusanagi.
No, she's one of the.
I suddenly thought of.
Yeah, she just ran away from home for fear of being captured by the police or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah.
Well, I think she was getting involved in a lot of sort of like radical type stuff.
Yes.
And so she went to go get more involved in that as she was pulled further into it.
Yeah. Well, they did kind of do her, Motoko Kusanagi, like they did Alita before Alita went into the Badlands arc, where they convinced her that her family had all died. You know, they had planted that memory in her, I guess. And you know, they said her family had died on a boat or something. The boat sank, and the terrorists blew up the boat, and all her family was dead. And her body was destroyed, but they saved her brain or something like that, I think is what it was. When in reality, what they did was they found her on the street living with some other kids, I guess, and then they, you know, took them all into the wherever they took them, you know, and you know, took her brain out of her head and put it in a cyborg body. You know, which is probably a pretty awful thing, you know. But
I think it was part of a super soldier program.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Which is
well,
why
it was in the movie. They mentioned like Project 2571, which I think is the year. So it's probably you know. Now these are different universes, but the time frame appears to be about the same. Although the I guess you know the universe that Motoko lives in is not dystopian. It's a super advanced, you know, civilization. A
bit more contemporary.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and you can imagine what it would be like, you know, being 600 years in the future or 500 years in the future like that. 500.
According to this, actually, Ghost in the Shell takes place around the time 2030.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, I don't think in 6 years we're going to be as far along as they are.
That happens in a lot of animes and shows. So like many years ago they started it, and it just sort of had these like accelerations in technology in the story.
Yeah, whatever.
And we get up to that point, and it's like, yeah, it's not how it went down.
But I do know in the movie they reference Project 2571 as being like, I guess it was a year, I guess. So
yeah,
maybe
I guess
like,
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
We just get the dystopia. We don't get all the cool cyberpunk stuff.
Well, 2571 could also just be a project number too.
Yeah, it could be. That's right. It could be just a number. But I think they I don't remember. Smendrick, you watched it with me. I can't remember what the context behind the number was. It may not be any context.
No, they don't explain it. But I thought the first thing I didn't remember the name of the woman that created her previous models.
We're coming up on those names. We're going to come up.
Yeah. And I think according to the numbers of the models, it could be a reference to the year when they were built.
Mm-hmm. Batman.
Oh, went out again.
Creaky, no. Come back,
Scrappy art,
Come away from the light.
Yes. Well, we won't go there though. So anyway, that's kind of what I came up with these two. I had to do a little bit of research on Motoko Kusanagi because I don't know her as well. I'd seen Ghost in the Shell before Monday. I'd seen it about 2 years ago, I think, something like that, and I enjoyed it. You know, it's got a pretty cool feel to it.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea to make a watch party with the animes.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
We can make a comparison between the movie and the animes.
Yeah, well, Matu and Lee say that there is a lot of episodes, like two years.
Yeah, but
we can do it. We can do it.
Into a 2-hour movie, someone wrote Batman. Batman wrote this.
Yeah. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's about all I can come up with right there between those two. Now, we were talking a little bit about, now I couldn't put the entire everything how Motoko was actually made, but you can see it's kind of like a chamber, and this is what Lee was talking about, is they kind of immerse her in this, or immerse her. Wow. I'm having difficulties today. So they, kind of got her in this chamber to where I guess it kind of puts a flesh-like outer skin on her and stuff. She goes through that, and what happens is what goes into this chamber looks like they show them putting her brain into this like a skull, mechanical looking skull, and then there's Chaos Nova. And they show her going into this chamber and being covered with what looks like almost a rubbery plastic looking thing that I guess is building the flesh that goes over the skeletal, the I guess metal skeletal frame, and then of course she comes out of it, and then the plastic or whatever that is on her body just kind of goes away, flies apart, and then there's Scarlett Johansson. So, but it was pretty cool, and the way they showed the neural net being connected and all that kind of stuff was pretty neat. Whereas with Alita, of course, we know how that happens. Ito puts her on the operating table and just, does his job and, kind of puts her together, so it's a little bit of a different thing. My take on this is that, to me, it's granted, Alita Battle Angel is in a dystopian world, but to me, it would be like the technology in Alita is more advanced than Ghost in the Shell, because he can do this almost like an outpatient surgery in a clinic where they have to have this multi-billion-dollar facility to put these cyborgs together, So I
believe what you're saying, Creek, is retro-futuristic. It's made to look like it's really it's late 20th century, but it's much more advanced than that aesthetic they're showing.
Yeah. Oh, and welcome Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio.
Oh, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Anyway, if you put stuff in the chat, I'll be happy to promote it. Do not stand by. Had to leave. Oh man. So okay. But anyway, that's how these two are built. And I think
but I would like to interrupt you. If you look at this picture from our Alita movie, and if you remember how Motoko's arm was repaired, it looks more the same technology than maybe creating Motoko.
Well, I think though with Alita, I got a slide coming up on this later in terms of her arm. When her arm got screwed up. Alita's arm would have repaired the nano machines would have repaired her arm right there, where they had to get her back to this facility to repair her arm. So, and her legs, I guess, her body, her whole body was messed up. But
the other thing about Ghost in the Shell is that it appears to be, should I say, the way we put computers together now, where we try to make sure there's no dust in there, no contaminants.
Yeah. So anyway, that's no, I think he muted. That's all. So
no, I'm here.
Oh yeah, you're here. So anyway, that's right. It's almost like to me that Alita's, it's kind of like what radios were maybe, I don't know, 80 years ago. They were tubes, they were kind of rough and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the technology in Alita Battle Angel has become so advanced that it's so commonplace you can do it on like a kitchen table effectively.
That's exactly what I point out. Yeah, it's the point I was going to make.
But the Ghost in the Shell, requires more of a industrialized process to create even a single cyborg. Yeah,
that's right. So, and Ito, now in the novelization, it takes Ito about, depending on the cyborg, it takes anywhere from 36 to 72 hours to put one of these cyborgs together. But it's like Lee's saying, he is able to do it right there in his clinic,
right.
And, right on the table. Whereas with Ghost in the Shell, they got to put them in this multi-billion-dollar facility to get them built or repaired, for to make these cyborgs there. So that tells me, even though Alita's universe is more dystopian, the technology.
Right. It seems that there's how would I put it? Like there's less sensitivity to contaminants because when they're putting together chips or computer components, they really don't want there to be contaminants or dust, because
Mhm.
any of that, when they're making the main processor chips, that could mess it all up.
Mhm. And you
Salt,
could see that,
dust, and so on.
yeah, and you can see that Ito, well, you don't see it in that picture, but when Ito is putting Alita together and Gearhead, they're not wearing masks. You know, they got smocks on, but they're not, you know, they don't have any, it looks like they don't have any, they don't have a clean room per se. Maybe that room is clean. I'm not sure, you know, but it doesn't appear to be any special precautions they take. And that could be because the nanites, if any contaminants do get in there when they're building them, the nanites take care of it, you know, right there. So who
I have
knows?
a feeling it might be actually more
right.
that they've got the systems are so robust and enclosed themselves. It's like almost a plug and play system
Yes.
where all you have to do is
exactly.
put it
Right.
together properly, and the system is already enclosed to protect against all of that.
I
Yep.
wonder if they have like air purifiers. So I have some of them for like dust allergies, and those things
Yeah.
will take in dust, you know,
No, it's
clean it
entirely
out. And you have to
possible he's
change
got
the
something like
sheet.
that in there, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, to me, it's like, you know, like I said, Alita, the cyborg technology is more advanced. Now, other technology in the dystopian world of Alita is like what we have today, or even inferior in some cases, you know. But the cyborg technology is like extremely advanced. Are you okay, Chaos?
Chaos, can you
Oh,
like
I'm
mute when you
okay.
do that?
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So, like, you know, I mean, even if, I mean, think of what they're doing with Alita as if you have a laptop that's from the 2000s or before, like, not so recent when they solder in the hard drive and everything, but
Yeah.
a less recent hard drive, say 10 years ago, where you could take out parts like the RAM, the batteries, and you don't have to worry about too much. Although you should, you know, vacuum out and not have dust on the table when you're doing it.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
that's how it worked.
Hey, I had a laptop in the late 90s, in the mid 90s even. So,
Well, I mean, I replaced parts for. I've got one right now that's pretty old, but I changed the battery out so it has more years to go.
yeah. Yeah, I
But
got
nowadays, I don't like what the computer making companies do, because they solder the hard drive and the battery in. So it's just like I essentially have to cut into it to replace batteries or other parts.
Yeah.
I don't like the soldering.
So anyway, that's I mean, there's some similarities here, although I do think Alita, the cyborg technology in Alita is more advanced, or at least, like Lee was saying, the components are more robust. And of course,
Well, I was
just
also
full of
referring to the
nanites.
standard everyday type components too, because a lot of those seem to work with all kinds of like varying facilities that aren't like the kind of advanced stuff you'd have in Ghost of the Shell there.
Yeah.
But so her berserker body is probably even more so than that.
Yeah.
I mean, I suspect even the lower tech stuff from Earth has a level of nanotechnology in it to help it maintain itself.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's interchangeable parts. So there's like,
there's that too. Yeah.
like a car.
Yeah.
So because apparently when Hugo was taking parts, there's certain parts he wanted that fit in various types of cyborgs.
Yeah. Well, I do think, though, Alita's doll body and her civilian body in the manga is not going to be as advanced as Motoko's body, you know, but because it is put together with scrap, you know, I guess, basically. Yeah. So, but that berserker body, of course, is from the Technique. So.
Well, actually, I have a feeling that even her civilian body would probably be at least as advanced as the body that Makoto uses.
Oh, that's the one that Ito gave her too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because he did have more advanced bodies, didn't he? But you can see a lot.
I don't think he had more advanced bodies. I think that was the highest quality body he had. He had built it for his daughter using the best parts he could find and make himself.
Yeah.
Using the best parts he could recover.
You mean now you're talking about the doll body, right?
The doll body, yeah.
Yeah.
Or unless you were talking about the civilian body in the
Yeah.
manga.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, even that I think is still going to be at least as advanced as the body that Makoto had in Ghost in the Shell.
But there are other cyborg bodies walking around Iron City. They're not going to come close to Motoko's body. So
Yeah.
because they, they are.
Well,
scrapped.
yeah. I mean, the one thing the live action movie did do is they didn't show the less human-like looking bodies.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The Ghost in the Shell universe seems to be much more like the cyberpunk universe. The cybernetics are designed to blend in with the body. They're not designed to stand out necessarily.
Yeah. I think
Unless
so.
somebody really wants them to for whatever reason.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just talk about some of the characters here. Now, who built Alita and Motoko? Well, of course, we know who built Alita. That'd be Dr. Ito. He built her. And then who built Motoko was Dr. Olette. She works for Honka Robotics. So, she's but she's probably on par in terms of knowledge, at least with the technology she has and what Dr. Dyson Ito has. I think, just my gut feeling here, just because of the different levels of technology that he was able to, work with the Berserker body, his knowledge is more advanced, about cyborgs than hers is. Although I'm making an assumption here. I don't know, because she's working in this big $1 billion facility, and he's working right out of just a little old, what would be like a little country clinic, except it's in the city, So,
yeah.
But he does have knowledge of Zalem technology.
Yes, he does, and of course Zalem's
basically magic.
Yeah, it's more advanced, yeah, for sure, So, but they're two pretty accomplished, I guess engineers or cyber docs or whatever you want to call them, And she does repair Motoko about 2 or 3 times in the movie. She does, make sure that, she stays healthy, and she, monitors her and stuff like that. I think Doc Ito does the same thing for Alita, but in her Berserker body, it's not as big a deal. I mean, because her onboard systems take care of her. She's got autonomy in that regard.
Her core was designed to interface with that kind of body too. So they're
exactly. That's exactly right. So it's a better match than I could see that he probably had to jury rig, if you want to call it that. Some of the connections he had to make in the doll body to get Alita to be moving.
Yeah, he
around,
had to make some modifications.
Yeah. Oh, Matu had to leave. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
She was getting sleepy, I guess. Because she was sleepy pre-stream. So
yeah, it's quite late in Europe.
Yes. Well, Vladi, you're in Europe, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite late here too. It's not that late though.
Yeah.
He probably hasn't been missing out as much sleep as she has, though.
Yeah.
We are night owls.
Night owls, yeah. So
great movie that. Check it out.
Oh yeah, I got to see that movie as well.
Nice. You haven't seen that one either, Creaky?
No, I haven't seen that
you're
one.
Terrible.
Yeah, I am.
You need to watch that one's really good. It snaps along.
I got to see more of our Queens. I got to see more of our Queens movies.
Oh, we should add that to the list of watch parties.
Yeah, we have to.
That's a really cool movie.
Oh, is it?
Night Owls, yeah.
So anyway, but these two are pretty skilled at their work, and they keep their respective cyborgs operational. Although I suspect the requirement of Doc Ito to do that, I can see that he probably doesn't have to do near as much preventive maintenance on Alita as Dr. Olette has to do on Motoko because of the technology is so different, But any thoughts, guys?
Some I just kind of thought about. There might be certain aspects of the bodies in the Ghost in the Shell universe that are probably quite a bit more advanced than the standard body. In the Alita-verse?
animated, there's certain templates. So in the animated one, which if depending if you've seen it yet, there's templates, and Motoko sees like images that look like her elsewhere because she's a type of series of body.
Yeah.
Well,
But I was
do
going to
think-
say that type of cyborg body seems to much more closely mimic human body organic systems, because they have a digestive system that seems to act exactly like a human digestive system.
well, I
and
do
other
know
things like
that. I do know that Dr. Olette told Motoko that she was the first of her kind. Now they find out later that there were 98 before her, and they were experimenting, trying to make them better and better. You know,
Mhm.
so she wasn't the first, but at the very least, she was the best because she was like the 99th. There's that number. The
Yep.
99th version,
Yeah.
the 99th version of, you know, whatever they were working on for cyborgs, you know.
Mhm.
So anyway, but so I do think probably Motoko Kusanagi's body is the pinnacle, you know, in the movie, not the anime. I don't know the anime, but in the movie, it seems to be the peak, you know, the pinnacle of cyborg bodies, because they've been through 98 iterations, you know, of the different cyborg bodies, you know. Yes, that's right, Bad Man. Well, that's not her designation, but she is the 99th version, so that's right. So that's pretty neat. What a coincidence, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, guys. Any other thoughts about these two?
Ido is a much warmer figure than Ulette, I'd say.
I think so, yes. Although Dr. Olette
Everything's
comes
just more
around at the
sterile
end.
for Motoko. Alita woke up to like a family almost.
Yeah, that's right. Where it was more like a lab, where
Yeah, a
Motoko
lab.
woke
She's a
up.
project,
Yeah,
much less human than
yeah,
how
that's right.
Alita was brought into the world, which is a really beautiful way of bringing her into the world, especially with like the tragedy of Ido's daughter and everything.
Although in the movie, Motoko does discover
Mhm.
her humanity at the end. She, you know,
Yeah, of
because
course.
she
Gotta have that.
reunites with her mother and all that stuff, which was kind of neat.
Mm.
That was particularly touching in the movie when she reunites with her mother and they're at the graveyard, you know, or whatever they call that in that century or
Looks like
whatever.
a memorial.
Yeah, sort of thing. And she told her mother, she said, "You don't have to come here anymore." Because that's not me. I'm not there. I'm in here, kind of thing. You know, it's pretty
That's
nice.
cool.
You know, it's really she did rediscover her humanity, I guess. So, but yeah, you're right, Vladi. It's more sterile in Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, I don't think Dr. Ulette is much of a mother figure to Motoko.
No.
And Ido is very much, at least in the movie, he's much more of a father figure to Alita.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I would say that Gerhard's, although they didn't go into this in the movie too much, but Gerhard to be more of a mother figure, I think.
Yeah. Well, they had
Possibly.
a interview with Idara Victor, who played
Yeah.
Gerhard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And according to her, that was the intention, is that Gerhard was supposed to be sort of the
Yeah.
maternal
would've been-
stand-in.
It would have been great if she had an extra scene or two where she could be a bit more motherly to Alita. But then
Yeah.
again,
they
Alita
could have
also
used
had-
another half hour in that movie, so
I know,
people
yeah,
could fill that a
generally.
bit.
Creek
Alita,
says they ought to have another hour of the movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then you lose the magical pace of it. It's so intense, you know.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a trade-off. But obviously, more Alita, the better.
Rodriguez should do an Alita Army cut version.
Yeah. He can make it even more quick and intense. Like an hour. Just cut it, make it even
yeah.
shorter. Just cut all the parts that don't have Alita in.
Bloody, I will take that under advisement.
I would literally watch that and not even like stress about the other parts.
Yeah. I might have to do that, Bloody. That's a good point.
The Alita, the pure Alita cut.
Pure Alita cut. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The creek cut. Okay, well, anyway, I think we got these two figured out pretty good.
Yeah.
For those who want to mainline Alita, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Which would be Bloody, right?
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, I think these two are they're similar in ways and they're different in ways. Like it's kind of like y'all were pointing out, Dr. Olette is not very motherly. Although I do think she's concerned for her, you know. But
yeah, that kind of builds as well. I'm trying to remember. I saw it a few years ago, the movie. Well, not that many years ago, but it's not as fresh in my mind.
Well, if you remember in the movie, she's supposed to kill Motoko. You know, Motoko thinks she's coming in to be redone or something, you know, and she's supposed to kill her, and she decides not to, and she ends up the bad guy ends up shooting her, you know, for not doing it.
She had her Sharon moment, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. So she discovered her humanity as well. Yeah.
Oh, there is a similar scene to that in one of the animated series. I can't remember which one, but Makoto or Motoko, I can't remember.
Motoko, right?
Motoko Kusanagi.
Yeah.
Well, Kusanagi goes in to get some maintenance done, and while she's in, she finds out that the doctor disconnects her motor functions to her body and starts toying with her. And it turns out the doctor was replaced by this assassin who had come in there to kill her.
Yeah.
Well, she manages to somehow redirect some of her signals through a relay in the lab and takes control of a spare body remotely.
Jesus. Oh, I got to see this. We're going to have Smendrick. We're going to have Smendrick, Bloody, and anybody else. We're going to have another watch party, I guess.
Well, there's Ghost in the Shell, Ghost in the Shell 2. Those are the movies I'm aware of.
Yeah, I suggested standalone complex as the animated series, the anime.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a whole lot of them out there.
Well, anyway, Dr. Olette she is concerned for Motoko. She does, you know, she does care about her, but it's not like a mother. You know, it's more like, you know, a friendly acquaintance, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
Well, I'd say it might be a little bit more than a friendly acquaintance if she was willing to risk her life to save.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe like very good friend or something. But it didn't come across that way in the movie until then, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's certainly a concern for her, because you remember that guy Cutter, he wanted to, you know, go ahead and insert her into you know, some kind of mission, and she said, you can't do that yet. She's you know, she's a human being, you know, and all that, you know. He kind of, you know, orders her to do it, you know, anyway. So anyway, but whereas Doc Ito, you know, he has
a great deal of compassion for all of his patients.
Yeah, that's right. Now, one thing that's different about Doc Ito and Dr. Olette is that Doc Ito is also a hunter warrior. So he's, you know, he's a professional killer himself when he goes after marks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a different level of trust between Doc Ito and Alita and Dr. Olette and Motoko.
Yeah, I think
this is a very Motoko always is careful and not trusting her creator or her mother in that way.
Like Alita does for Doc Ito.
Yeah. What do you think? Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, I don't think so. I do think she proves her. Dr. Olette does prove herself toward the end of the movie, you know, by not killing her. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nova had to go.
Oh, he did. Yeah. I think he put something. Did he put something in the chat? No, he didn't. Okay. So. Anyway, any more discussion on these two?
Nothing I can think of. I mean, Dr.
Nah.
Roulette sounds like a corporate surgeon who
Yeah.
is, basically working for sort of an established power structure.
Yeah.
Ito is basically a exiled doctor who's doing his best to try to make his way in the world and help out the people in need around him.
Yeah,
Make a
that's right.
positive difference in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So I guess that's a pretty
So-
big difference between the two.
Yeah.
Lottie, you're eccentric? Anything?
Not really. I don't really remember her enough about her really.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Well,
No.
you already compared them quite a lot.
Now, here are a couple of friends. Now, there are a lot more characters in both these movies, and I could have had 99 slides if I'd have put all the characters in. But
Yeah, that
certainly
would
we
be
all,
great. Yeah.
yeah. Certainly there's Hugo, and then of course Motoko's got her partner, and I guess ends up being her friend as well. His name's Batu, and
Yeah,
he's,
and all of the various series, she and Batu have been together like years. They've known each other a long time.
yeah. So the relationship certainly is a little different, in the movie anyway. I don't know about the anime, but with Hugo, that's Alita's love interest, in the movie. Batu is more of he's close to her. They're really, they watch each other's backs, and they're just extremely.
They're comrades in arms.
Yeah, exactly. They're more like
Yeah.
very committed partners, in what they do for the, for the I guess the government, I guess, is who it is, or they.
Yeah, they worked at least in Standalone Complex. I think it was. They worked for something called Section 9.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if that was the same in the
Yeah,
movie.
that's right. Yeah, and in the
Okay.
movie, that's also Section 9.
Okay,
as
so
well.
it was the same.
But Batu is he's a really good soldier. He's a good fighter. He knows how to handle weapons. He's extremely tough. He's
Well, that was part of what I meant by comrade in arms, because both of them are basically in the same line of work. So they've got the same kind of training, access to the same equipment, that kind of thing.
Whereas Hugo is more of a survivor for sure, but he's not a combatant type guy.
He was the cute guy she ran into and fell head over heels for.
Yeah. And with that is more like infatuation with Hugo, I guess, initially. But Batu, I think his relationship with Motoko is different and deeper, I think. That's my opinion anyway. But he's a pretty kick-ass fighter, the Batu is. He's badass, man. He's pretty tough, they go into that, I guess it was a bar where they were trying to meet with these guys that were, I guess they were doing some kind of, they were slaving out sex slaves or some bullshit.
Engaged
like that.
in some shady stuff.
They're exactly right. And they go in there and just kick butt. Now, but Batu in the movie, he loses his eyes, and that's why he has to wear those cybernetic eyes now. Because it was funny after they put those eyes in him, Motoko comes in there and he looks at her and he says, "Now I see things like you do," or something like that. So, yeah, bad man. That's right. I don't think Alita liked Hugo for his intelligence. Batu is intelligent. He's intelligent in the way of being able to fight. He's
well, Kusanagi tends to associate with some rather intelligent and capable people.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
well, Alita does to a point. Certainly by Ito.
I think Hugo may not have been like overly intelligent, but he certainly wasn't stupid either.
Yeah,
especially to be able to survive as long as he was without being as strong as some of the other people out there.
Yeah, that's right. He was a meat boy too.
Definitely pretty good at jacking cyborgs.
Now, Batu is a meat boy as well, but he does have those cybernetic eyes. So,
I think the Ghost in the Shell universe, a lot of people have some level of cybernetics in them, some level of augmentation.
Yep.
But like I was saying before, it's like it tends to be blended into the body and not overt.
Yeah, last place Dave says yes, they have a good working relationship. Even if he says something to make Motoko mad, she would hack Batu and hit and
Make him hit himself. There
But it
was a
was-
scene that actually a villain hacked Batu's eyes and kept him from seeing the bad guy. It didn't blind him. He just edited the villain, basically edited himself out
Yeah.
of Batu's vision.
Wow. So anyway, but I think Batu and Motoko are friends. There's no doubt about that. They are. But
Well, they
have
trust each other with their lives.
yeah, but it's a different relationship with Hugo.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, it's not a romantic relationship between Batu and Kusanagi. It's
yeah, that's right.
got a strong working relationship. They are friends, as far as I can tell,
Yeah,
and they've been working together for years.
yeah.
I
Oh,
think,
Whereas-
sorry.
whereas-
think they have a different level of loyalty,
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. Hugo does his own thing,
yeah,
okay? But Batu is always focused to protect Motoko,
Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
more like a
but
soldier.
in a very more lovely way. Yeah.
Well,
He
they
also
kind of
has a scrappy
protect
streak
each
there.
other. I think Batu and Motoko protect each other because
Yeah, like I said, they're
Yeah.
partners.
yeah,
They've worked
they're
together.
a unit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, I like
Hugo
that.
would go around hacking or jacking cyborgs, and he ends up falling in love with one.
Yeah, that's right. Especially when he saw her in the berserker body, he was like, "Whoa, ooh, wow, nice." That's probably was his thought, you know.
Mhm.
In the
of
doll
course.
body, he probably thought Alita was cute in the doll body, but you know, what is she 14? You know, he's what 18 or 19? You know, he's not gonna be too.
No, I wouldn't like put a number on the age of because she's not 14. She's literally
Yeah, she's not. She's
an
actually
adult
over,
woman.
yeah,
Just her
she's
body
over
is
3.
is the shape of
Yeah,
Ito
that's
Ito
a
assumed
slightly
her
younger
age
woman.
to be at around 14, even though she was much older than that.
yeah. She was well in the. I know before she went to fight on
But yeah,
Earth.
there's nothing
You know, she
weird
was
about Hugo liking
17, and it probably took them a while to get. They had to go through training and all that. So by the time she got to Earth and fighting, she was probably 18 years old. You know, so
Mhm. Well, at least
That-
according to the notes that Cameron had left, she was
Yeah.
around 18, but Ito assumed that she was around 14.
yeah, that's because that's why he saw his daughter, I guess. So
Yeah, he saw too much of his daughter in her,
Yeah.
so it took
Yeah,
him a
that's
while
right.
to start shaking that.
Yeah.
To see her as a proper woman, a fully grown woman,
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than a daughter he can like look after.
Yeah, I think her maturity level when they were on the supply tube, her and Hugo, I think her maturity level was early 20s at that point.
Hmm.
That's just my take on it, you know. So anyway, I like Batu. He's the kind of guy I would associate with as a friend. I think
Mhm.
he's a badass guy, boy. He's really a tough guy, but he's like Smedrick was saying, you know, he's really concerned for Motoko and vice versa, you know. So they watch out for each other, and they have a different relationship than Hugo and Alita. Now, I will say about Hugo is that I think in some ways he watched out for Alita as well, because, you know, he had the opportunity when she offered him her heart in the I guess in the novelization, he could hear Tanji in the back of his head say, "Take that thing and run," you know.
Mhm.
Type thing, you know, but he didn't do it. You know, he pushed the heart back to her, you know, and say, "Put it back. It's okay," you know. So I mean, I think he does develop some pretty solid, you know, right type of things for Alita, you know. But
Well, that's the
that's
thing.
really
He
different.
never, in the novelizations, he never, even in the movie, he didn't necessarily strike me as an evil individual. He was just a product of Iron City.
Yeah.
And Iron City will do that to just about anybody who grows up there. When you grow up there and your entire life is,
Yeah.
you're being pounded into the ground by this environment you're living in, it's
Yeah,
going to do something to you.
yeah, that's
And you
right.
Even
see
if
all
you're
the
a good
shady
person
stuff
at heart.
that happens. you see it happen all the time, so you just get normalized to it as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Poor Hugo. Have we got Panini Freak in chat? She'd be.
No, it doesn't look like she's out
sympathizing.
there.
No, they
Yeah.
normally come on the Saturday, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Well, she has come on Friday, but I think you're right. I think they normally come on Saturday. So
What I think about Hugo, he's more an emotional triggered decider. Batu is more the experienced guy,
yeah,
looking for the best way to solve an issue,
yeah,
whatever it is.
Yeah,
his own,
Batu's a
issues.
seasoned professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way more mature than
Yeah.
Hugo.
yeah,
Hugo's more like a boy. Like Batu's like
Yeah.
a man.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Batu's cool in my book.
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked him.
Yeah,
I liked
Batu.
him. I liked him the first time I saw him. I thought, whoa, that's a good guy right there.
He's also
Maybe
quite funny
we-
as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
Maybe we could see him in a sequel from
Yeah.
Alita.
I don't know. I don't know if they'd put him
I
in
don't know how
there.
that would work.
Yeah, I don't either. Unless
They
they,
could
had a
do
crossover.
They could give someone like the similar haircut and like cybernetic eyes, and just have that be a little homage.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it
But
could
I'd
be.
love to see like a professionally done crossover with
Oh,
Rose's
yeah.
Alita and
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell. Wouldn't that
We
be
need it.
incredible?
Ah,
So I could stick
Well-
to my dreams, I think.
last place, Dave. Yep, he's got it, man. Batu would stop by these places that were selling meat. And he'd buy, a bag of this meat, and there were these stray dogs. He'd go and feed them every day. So that was, yeah, you're right. Last place, Dave. He does like
That's a great point.
dogs. He's a dog guy, so I knew I liked him too about that
I
as
forgot
well.
about that.
Yeah. I think Batu and Alita would get along very well. I think.
Yeah.
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 That's the reason
Well, I
why
think
say-
I think Alita would get along with Major Kusanagi as well. I think they would.
Oh, this would be an interesting relationship. They
Yeah.
have so many different properties. Yeah.
But they have so much in common too.
Yeah, and so much in common. This would be a very exciting relationship.
Yeah, it would be a good crossover for sure if they could pull that off. Although I think they're in two vastly different universes, of course. Okay, any more thoughts about Hugo and Batu? I think if Panini Freak and Random Bomb were on the stream, they would probably wax lyrical about Hugo, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I'll just say one's a professional soldier, the other one's a professional street punk.
Yeah, well, he's a professional survivor in Iron City. This guy knows how to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to get around. That's for sure. And he's got a business going. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
Let's say he knows a lot, but
Yeah.
sometimes he can't realize risks and dangers and whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's one of the things that about Hugo too. He had a certain naivety to him in the novelizations, at least.
I don't
He
want
never-
to say this. Yeah.
Yeah, he never expected that somebody like Vector would be lying to him, because to him,
Yeah.
somebody in Vector's position couldn't get by if you couldn't hold him to his word or count on his word.
Yeah.
So that was a certain that was something that he just, I guess, couldn't wrap his head around, or maybe one of the sort of principles that he lived by.
Yeah.
You always keep your word if you're going to give it to somebody.
Well, the thing about Vector, though, I remember the first time I saw the movie, I saw Vector. I said, man, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Yeah. So that was one of the blind spots that Hugo had.
Yeah. Whereas Batu doesn't seem to have that kind of blind spot in his
Probably
psyche.
not. I think he would size up Vector and go, yeah, that's not somebody you trust.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on and take a look at the good guys. Anyway, when I say guys, I don't mean literally, because Gearhead's not a guy.
Yeah.
But that's Alita's mother figure. Now they're different, in a lot of ways, but Gerhard is certainly Ito's, assistant. He's the nurse, she's the nurse. They're
Sorry, I've just remembered the scene. Does an Aramaki go on like he has like a big shootout or something near the end, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he does.
Like
Yeah, he
something.
does.
I remember thinking like, okay, this
he's
is cool as fuck.
badass.
He's not a badass, yeah.
Yeah, Aramakis are very badass. As a matter of fact, they got a scene in the movie where he's in the car and these guys have automatic weapons. They start pumping the car and they think they've killed him. And he comes out and he shoots all of them. And then one guy is still alive and he points his gun at him and says, "Never send a rabbit to kill a fox." He shot him.
Yes, was a nice.
He's pretty badass.
Yeah, he's
Aramaki
cool,
is, Yeah,
Yeah, I
is.
think he might be the person, sort of the symbolizing that whole never underestimate an old man in a profession where men die young.
Yeah, that's right. And he's the leader of Section 9 too, by the way. He's yeah.
Yeah,
And
he uses a very old, a very classic revolver.
Yeah.
The anime version of him has much wilder hair too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas Gerhard, she's she's a typical person that's going to help others and a typical nurse and stuff like this. She's not a killer. Aramaki's a killer.
Yep.
If you're an enemy and you've been confronted with him, you're in big trouble.
Well, they're both professionals, but at very different lines of work.
Very different lines of work. The thing I like about Gerhard too is, in reality, in the movie they didn't come out with this, but she is Alita's mother figure, which is pretty cool. Whereas Aramaki, he's kind of like he's kind of like Uncle Creek, to Motoko. So of course he would be because he's kind of Motoko's boss.
I think you got to look at the environments the two of them are in. Motoko Kusanagi, she's in a very much a professional working environment.
Yeah.
A lot of people around her may be friends, but they are also colleagues and co-workers.
Yeah, that's
With
right.
Alita, she is finding herself in a new world. She's not part of any profession until she becomes a hunter warrior, and then later on a motorball player.
Yeah.
But she's basically just sort of a young woman trying to find out who she is and find her place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Finn.
Grüß Gott, Finn. Wie geht es dir heute?
Hi, Finn. Come on into the stream.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I haven't been putting a link in there. If anybody wants to come on, let me put that link in there in case anybody wants to come on, because there's the link right there. All you got to do is click on it. I'll bring you in if you want to come on. So anyway, I guess I was
also going to say, basically, a lot of the people around Alita are more like friends and family, and not necessarily, colleagues and coworkers, the way it would be in a professional environment. They're much closer to her, I think.
I think you're right, but I think Aramaki is almost like the patriarchal kind of grandpa, kind of uncle type thing. As a professional, but yeah.
I mean, certainly everybody who works under him has a great deal of respect and admiration.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They look up to him quite a bit.
Yeah, they do.
But it's not really a familial type relationship.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, exactly. Nurse Gerhard is more
with Gerhard, with Kiyomi, with Hugo and Ito. It's all much more familial and a much closer, more family-oriented type relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why Alita will kick your ass if you try to hurt any of them.
Well, Kusanagi will do the same if you try to hurt any of her friends too. The difference being a lot of her friends could also kick your ass. Yeah.
She has. Yeah, that's right. Motoko's got a lot of friends / colleagues around here.
Yeah, she's a professional soldier in a line of work that has a lot of professional soldiers in it.
Exactly. I really like that line though. The Aramaki said, "Never send a rabbit to kill a fox."
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great line. I love that line.
Yeah, that's that line, especially that line,
Yeah,
tells more about him and his CV and his history
yeah,
than any other thing we saw in the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just a few discussions about laws and ethics and but this line, especially this line, yeah, says everything.
Yep. But they're the good guys. These two, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, Gerhard helps Ito, you know, build and rebuild Alita.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, whereas Aramaki doesn't do that. He have to rely on Honka Robotics to do all that stuff, you know. But he actually reports to the Prime Minister of Japan. He doesn't report to Honka Robotics.
Yeah.
So, and he made
Not
that
quite
very
comparable. These two
he made that very clear to Cutter too. He's, you know, Cutter came in there to threaten him, you know, about doing whatever with Motoko or maybe some other cyborg or something. And he says, "Yes, sir, I understand you, but I report to the Prime Minister."
Mhm.
Something
And you
like
ain't
that.
him.
And you're not him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're not him. You're not him. Yeah.
Yeah, Honka Robotics would be more akin to like a weapon supplier.
Yeah,
Basically, they
or
supply
like
equipment. They're not like the boss.
well, they're like a government contractor, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
you know, like oh, can't think of it right now, but like a weapon supplier that supplies ammunition and weapons to the military.
yeah,
The military doesn't answer to them just because they supply them.
yeah, that's right. Okay, anything more about these two?
Hmm.
Well, here are the bad. Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
I was
go
going
ahead.
to say something about Gerhard.
Okay,
I
go
really
ahead.
liked the novelization, how they gave her a little chapter where about how she lost her arm and came to be
Yeah.
working
Oh
for
yeah,
Ego.
the background
Yeah,
on
that.
that.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
really
that.
nice?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, was it like a lorry driver or something like that ran
Exactly.
into
Yeah,
her?
it's a much more down to earth story, obviously, than Aranaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Gerhard.
wouldn't call Aramaki a down to earth person.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like
Yeah, I
polar
think
opposites. These two
I
characters.
mean, he is, but I wouldn't, you know.
Literally couldn't be more different.
Gerhard's a healer and Aramaki
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah, she's just like quietly working in the Edo's shop,
Mhm.
and
Well,
he's like doing crazy shit.
I do think Aramaki did put some Zen or even samurai-esque type of philosophy on Motoko early on in the movie. I think I can't remember exactly what it was, you know, and the way she reacted, she just bowed her head, you know, like, you know, kind of like you see them do sometimes, you know, they just acknowledge, you know, the wisdom when they see it, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the bad guys right here. Of course, we know the guy on the left, Nova, you know, in the movie. Of course, there's more than one version of Nova in the manga, obviously. But yeah, he's a you know, Nova's a bad guy. He's a prick in my opinion.
As far as I'm concerned, even when he's helping Alita, he's still a bad guy.
Yeah, he's not a good person. Cutter is much the same way. Certainly, you know, Nova is enhanced human, you know, and he's got a lot going for him in nanotech and all that in terms of, you know, keeping himself alive. I mean, he's biologically immortal, obviously, whereas Cutter is just a beat boy, you know, but he's a greedy ass, power hungry, control thirsty,
Greedy, ambitious, power hungry, callous.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he is, you know.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care who dies, you know. He's you know, he's concerned about, you know, what the company can do, I guess the money they can make, I guess, you know. because he mentioned that a couple of times in the movie, you know. But he's pretty bad, you know, as a person. You know, I don't mean bad like he's a badass guy. I mean he's just bad, you know. And you know, he doesn't have the power, I guess, that Nova has, you know, in the movie.
Well, basically, Cutter is sort of like a high-level cog in the machine.
Yeah,
Nova runs the machine.
yeah, that's right.
At least as far as Iron City is concerned.
Yeah,
and
that's
Zalem.
right. Yeah. Now Nova probably doesn't run Catheris, all right, or Jeru.
Yeah, I got the definite impression from the notes that Cameron left. There was a layer above Nova that he didn't have any real control over, but that he had to kind of answer to.
Embody, maybe. That's probably who it'll be in the sequel.
Possibly.
Or sequels.
Yeah, we'll
the
have
Creek
to wait
gets his. Yeah, the Creek gets his way. There'll be Alita 2, Alita 3, Alita 4, Alita 5, and Alita 6.
Yep.
If I get my way, that's what it's going to be, you know.
Yep.
So anyway, but yeah, Cutter, he runs the company, I guess, but that's as high as it goes. He certainly doesn't run Aramaki, and Aramaki told him as such.
Yeah, he doesn't run the government as far as I know. He runs, like, he has a position of power, but it's not the position of power.
Yeah.
Whereas Nova has the position of power.
He's more a manager. Kata is more.
I was just saying, he was more like a middle manager type in a high level position.
Yeah, exactly. Not looking around, not caring about ethics and other things, just for the money and just for the I forgot the word, of the company, the reputation. That's the word. He more takes care of the reputation of the company. Yeah. And Nova, I don't know if he cares much about reputation or economic.
Nova cares, from what I understand, Nova cares about his power base, maintaining his power.
Yeah.
And
I think Cutter does too, though. I think he.
Oh yeah, but Nova seems to. Nova doesn't have loyalty to like a company or anything like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's not worried about money or anything like that. He just has. He's got power. He is God, and he's going to play with the world however he sees fit and the people in it.
Well, they have one thing in common, these two. Neither one of them give a shit about humans. I mean,
there's a lot of similarities on certain points there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for instance, Cutter wanted to kill Motoko. I mean, even though she was the pinnacle of what they had produced, let's just kill her and we'll make one better or something like that.
Well, she became a loose end. Had to tie her up.
Yep.
In Nova, he'll occasionally create loose ends just to see what kind of chaos they cause down in the city below.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it, wreck some people's lives.
He'll experiment with people too.
Yep.
All right. Well, these two guys are pretty bad guys. So,
yeah, massive dickheads.
They're the villains. Down with villains.
Yeah, that's right. They're the villains. Okay. Any more thoughts about this? Of course, we don't know that if Nova's going to eat Flan when he's in the sequel, but hopefully he will.
Like I said, we'll have to see. And hopefully we will see fairly soon.
Yeah.
Come on, Disney. Alita is crushing it on Netflix. So greenlight the sequel.
Yes, she is.
I was on to the Fox CEO guy on Twitter. He made a post about Ford versus Ferrari or something. Wait, who cares about that film? And then I was like, "Oh, Alita's doing great on Netflix. Let's get the sequel going now, please. Thank you."
Yes.
He did not reply, unfortunately.
Well, I think Alita on Netflix is going to help. I really do, because I mean, man, she's getting the views. What did Charlie?
It's got the headlines in as well instantly.
Yeah. I mean, God Almighty, how many views are they getting? Like 4 days, 16 million or more. I can't remember what Charlie put.
It was actually a really high number, wasn't it? Pretty great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I don't know what is the gauge, like how long, is this a test, like how long could she actually stay there in the top 10? But I think the main thing is to get the headlines that Alita's like done really well, and she's already got them now. So
Yeah.
big win for our girl.
Yeah, that's right. Big win for our girl and our queen and Cameron and
it sets
Rodriguez.
It like tease it up for the like sequel, because obviously there'll be more sequel teasing as it goes through with Rosa promoting Captain America.
Yeah.
So this is like, they can say, oh, with Alita breaking back into the top 10 of Netflix, that's another reason added to the sequel moving forward.
Well,
You
I
have
know
to justify everything on like a business level as well. So when they can say that, oh, Alita's
well, they're
well,
making money for Christ's sake.
Indeed, yeah.
I know my little old promotion video is going nuts. I know it's getting a lot of views, so I mean that's a good thing too, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, all those subscribers looking at it, you know, that's great, you know. So anyway, all right, here's a couple of other antagonists right here. Of course, we know that guy on the left. He's a real dickhead himself. Zapan. Although I like the actor. I mean, I love Ed Skrein. He's great.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great actor, man. That guy's super. And I can't recall the name of the actor on the right, but his name in the movie is Coos. And he starts out as like an antagonist, like terrorist type guy. But really what he is like the 98th version of the cyborg they were trying to create. And they got Motoko, who's the 99th version or something like that. He's a previous version that didn't quite work out. I guess maybe there's some design flaws or whatever it is, you know. And now he wants to burn it all down, you know, is basically what he wants to do, you know. And he starts out like a villain sort of, but he's really not. He's trying to fight for the people that are like him, including Motoko, you know, against Honka Industries, you know. And of course, the scene at the end where, you know, they're fighting that spider tank, which we're going to get to that in a little bit. But he actually turns out in the end to be a good guy, I guess, you know, or at least I wouldn't say a good guy, but maybe you know, maybe somewhat of an anti-hero, I guess you could call him, perhaps, you know.
Well, Kusanagi was working for the corporation, and this guy was trying to destroy the corporation. So that kind of put them on opposite sides there.
But they do connect at the end, though. So they, you know, in the movie they do. I don't know about the anime. Now Zapan, this guy right here, he's an egotistical maniac. Or he's not a maniac. He's an egotistical.
Zapan's greatest love in the world is Zapan.
It's him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, and in the novelization, oh, Michael Pitt. That's right. Thanks, Mendrick. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good actor, that guy on the right. Well, Ed Skrine's a great actor too. You know, I mean, they're just super. I loved Ed Skrein in the remake of Midway. He was really good in that thing, boy. That guy was super, and he got that American accent.
Oh, we lost him again.
Oh no, his cyborg Creaky has just malfunctioned for momentarily. He'll be right back. It's just a reboot.
So anyway, but
there he is.
Yeah. Yeah,
you cut off for a second, Creek.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, just momentarily.
Well, Zapan's greatest love in the world is Zapan.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's the face of Zapan. So, you know, he's going to love his face.
Well, you know, it's funny in the novelization, he's getting his face worked on all the time. And when he was chasing Hugo, he actually stopped by a cyberdocs to get his
got his teeth polished or something.
Got his teeth polished, and he also got his I guess his what is
he made a pit stop to get some work done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he to make his face look better while he's chasing him. What he framed him, but he's chasing a mark, you know. So anyway, but Zapan's he's just really he's a corrupt hunter warrior, is what he is, because he framed Hugo, you know, by killing you know, that one cyborg there that Demetrius Polito was playing, you know. So
He framed
But-
Hugo for murder.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas Kuz, he's more like a revolutionary is kind of what he's like, you know, fighting against the corporation.
Yeah, he was fighting a corrupt system, and Kusanagi started out working for that corrupt system, and then eventually they both ended up on the same side.
Yeah, that's right. So, whereas Zapan, the only side Zapan's ever on's on his side. So, you know, that's it. So,
And after getting humiliated, he decided he was going to try to hurt Alita by killing someone she cared about, or making her kill someone she cared about.
I mean, that shit didn't work out for him, did it?
Not real well, no.
He ended up losing his face over it,
Yeah.
and the Damascus blade. Holy crap!
Yeah, I would describe Zapan more extroverted, if this is the right English word, and Kuzi more introverted. Yeah, more thinking about where he comes from, where what happened in the past. Yeah, and Zapan doesn't care about that. In the movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I think Kus would be more introspective.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, he would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn
Whereas-
tried to come on, but he's got a problem with his headset.
Yeah, I see that. Whereas Zapan's more demonstrative. He's more, at least in the novelization, he was very demonstrative, trying to strutting around like a peacock. You know.
Yeah, but he's a
So-
belligerent blowhard.
Yeah, that's right.
A bullying belligerent blowhard.
That's what he is. Yeah. Okay. Any more about these two? And then here's another couple. Now, the guy on the right, he had a pretty good part in there, but he's really a victim, you know, is what he is. But he gets taken over somehow. I guess he had some kind of cybernetic implants for into his brain, and he was able to, you know, I guess the corporation actually took him over, or it could have been Kuz, I'm not sure. Whereas Gruishka, you know, he's being ridden as well, but he's ridden by Nova, you know. So
Well, he's not always ridden either. Most of it is just he's just a terrible person.
yeah,
But he's working for a terrible person who sometimes takes him over because he wants to experience the cruelty that Gruishka inflicts on his victims.
yeah. And we don't know much about Skinny Man. That's how they put him in IMDb. But he gets in a fight with Motoko Kusanagi and just literally gets his ass kicked. I mean, major.
Is he the one that she fights while she was cloaked and they were in that water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he got completely beat.
Yeah, he got beat down pretty good. As a matter of fact, Batu had to pull her off of him, you know, or she was going to kill him, you know. And he said, "No, we need him alive," you know. So I guess a little bit of a manga Alita came out in Motoko on that one. So
Motoko is very much an accomplished killer herself.
Yes, but these two are. I mean, I think the guy Skinny Man is a cyborg, but I think it's only because he's got brain implants. I don't think there's nothing remarkable about his body. He's a human being, you know.
Yeah, I think he's actually representative of a lot of the average people in that world. They have a minor amount of cybernetics just to help them with the day-to-day chores or maybe some sort of job that they've got.
Yeah,
allows them to interface with machines and what have you, and it's nothing overt or like extensive.
Yeah, they both are remote controlled, I would say. Yeah. I don't know much about Gruishka's memory about his past life and former years or whatever. He only once said. Yeah, he only said once, "I was born here, and I was left to die here."
Yeah.
Well, in the novelizations, Gruishka had apparently rose to prominence in the motorball circuit.
Yeah.
And then became a drug-addled burnout.
Yeah, he was a contender for final champion, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was going to take. He was they thought he was going to take on Joshigan, but he
Yeah.
ended up having that falling out, burning himself out, and then he, I guess, got picked up by Nova.
Yeah.
And now he's cut in two.
Yep. Now he's
Well,
beside himself.
Well, that's the only two things these guys have in common is they both can be ridden, you know,
Mhm.
but that's it. One's completely human. The other one's is mostly robot, you know, or mostly he's not an android. I guess. Is he an android, Grishka? I'm not sure.
No, he's got a human brain. He is a cyborg.
So
a
he's
very
a
tiny
cyborg,
human brain.
Yeah, evidently.
Well, he's got a regular human brain and a huge freaking head.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks.
But that's the only two things they got in common. They can be ridden, but that's about it.
And that's the thing about
they can be
cybernetics
what,
connecting into your nervous system is
I see what you mean. Ridden as in like, the brain.
Yeah, if they hack you, if somebody external force hacks you, depending on what you have, they can probably use it to start, sending commands to your nervous system, overriding what you want it to do.
Yeah. That would have to be some technology, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the cybernetics themselves are some highly advanced technology, really sophisticated stuff.
Yeah, but I do think, though, that overcoming human free will is going to be hard. That's going to be a hard thing to crack right there.
It's not about free will, though.
Yeah.
All it's about is electrical impulses. All you have to do is block what the brain wants and insert what you want. And the electrical impulses take over the rest. It's just the electrical signal that you send in.
Yeah, I don't know how many trillion neurons we have, though. That would be
well,
really...
you only have one central nervous system or one central part of the nervous system that you have to basically take over, and that's the spinal cord.
Yeah.
So you could basically cut a brain's control of the body and turn the person into a passenger in their own body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a future form of slavery, or could lead to a future form of slavery.
Easily, yeah.
Let's hope not.
But what if you don't have a free will and don't ask anymore about your history, about your family, as Skinny Man did? Yeah. He trusts his overwritten memory.
Yeah, because that's right. He kept saying he had to take his daughter to piano lessons, but he didn't have a daughter, and that's what they put in his brain, I guess.
And he never asked about that.
Yeah. I find mind control one of the most horrifying things to think about. Just losing your entire existence to someone else's control. It's utterly horrifying.
Yeah.
So, and with Vector dying the way he didn't even experience his final second of life. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Well, I think he probably did, because I think Nova probably vacated the premises. Elvis has left the building.
It looked like he stayed.
Yeah. Nova has left the building. Yeah, it's very.
Well, that's the thing. There seemed to be some indication that Nova could allow the person to sense what he's experiencing, even if they had no control over the body to move it.
Yeah.
They still received sensory input and could experience what the body was going through.
Yeah,
so Nova can experience how it feels to die.
Perhaps, except, he probably never does go through the actual death part. He probably leaves the brain before the person actually dies.
Why would he need to? The body could just die.
Yeah, and he wouldn't care.
Could just tune off. Why would he?
Yeah, his signal could just get kicked back to wherever he's at.
Yeah,
he can control someone till their final moment of existence.
But to Lee's point, though, where he said,
what was the original point?
Lee's point was that Nova would allow the person to be a passenger in their own brain, because remember when Vector was, Vector, when they had Grishka up on that, kind of that, I guess,
in that maintenance rack or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that rack was. Yeah. And remember, when Vector finally left his brain, he went down and he was wiping his face in the water. He said, I hate it when he does that. In other words, he experienced it. So, yeah.
Well, what did he experience though? Is it
Oh, who
like
knows?
like a
They-
dissociative personality or something? Where you like see, you like sort of watch it from the other side of the room and like in your head.
Yeah, I guess they don't go into
It's
that. in the
interesting to
movie.
think about where the
Yeah.
consciousness goes.
Yeah.
So it must split the like brain down. So
Well, there's been a number of stories I've seen, including a couple animes, where somebody was inflicted with something like either some sort of like a mind control creature or a cybernetic implant of some sort that basically allowed something else to take over, and the other person was fully conscious and aware. They could see through their eyes, feel what the body felt. They had no motor control whatsoever.
yeah, like sleep paralysis. Like you wake up and you have no control of your body. It might feel like that.
Well, worse than that, your body's doing things you don't want it to
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Even
Yeah.
worse than that. Definitely worse than that. But a similar
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah, like you
Batman.
watch your own body kill your loved ones, and you can't do anything to stop it.
Oh, can you imagine? Imagine if they could do that in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Batman has an interesting point. Can you pop up?
Oh, Neuralink? Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm ever getting that.
Yeah.
No way, you're
This
crazy.
is-
You don't trust that.
Yeah.
You mean you don't want to be hooked up to the internet just by thinking about it?
No, Lord Musk wants me to do that. He's gonna have to force me to.
society.
You don't want to be hooked into X with the Neuralink?
Oh my
Oh,
god! No.
hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a brain chip and then fly to Mars. Like, why the fuck? I'm not fucking mental.
Okay, what we can discuss is connecting to Alita army family. This would be
we could all make our own
interesting.
Neuralink. And that way we wouldn't have to worry about Twitter being destroyed. We can just
There is
instantly say hi to
actually-
each other through our Neuralinks.
Oh yeah.
This
There
would
is
be nice.
actually a cybernetic. I'm not really sure it's a cybernetic, but it's a prosthetic arm that they are working on that has a sense of touch and stuff, and it has
Mhm.
the ability to read your neural impulses to move and things.
Mhm.
That at least has no like receiver or transmitter in it. If you want to hook it up to a diagnostic and get information out of it, you have to do a physical access. So something like that would be like the best way of doing that. So you can't get somebody remote hacking it and having it do something.
Mm.
Finn says, I mean, antagonism, is that true? And I said, richtig Fig, and he says, he's not a translator. Correct, Finn. All right, well, any more about these two chaps?
I'm not really sure there's a whole lot to go into about them. They
Yeah,
seem
not
pretty
really.
straightforward.
Yeah, probably Gorishka would be a little bit more because the guy, Skinny Man's got a little bit more of a bit part, than he.
Yeah, he was a very short.
Yeah, he didn't last long.
I mean, Gruishka was like one of the main villains of the.
But
Yeah,
there
there's
is.
a direct connection to Nova. That is.
But to one of Vladdy's points about being,
Yeah.
taken over like that, about being horrifying, what did he do in
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie? He hung himself
Exactly.
because
Oh
he
my God.
couldn't handle it, and he just hung himself.
Oh yeah, you misspelled antagonist.
I did?
Antagonist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's because I copied and pasted.
Yeah,
I
Finn
copied
apparently
and
caught
pasted.
it.
More switched on than we are.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize
That's what Finn was
this.
referring to.
You're right. Antagonist. Yes, Finn, you're
Oh my God.
absolutely
And I
right.
was just
And
like,
this is
pretending to
another
understand what you
case
said.
where I was reading this and I proofed it and I read it the same way I wrote it.
Yeah,
After I copied and
exactly.
pasted it.
Yeah.
Antagonist. Well, I guess that's a woman named Anna who's an antagonist, I guess. So
Oh,
The villain is named Anna.
That's
tell
right.
us more.
Yeah. All right. Well, fighting opponents, and there's a couple of them. A couple of scenes in here where, of course, Alita fights those Centurions, and Motoko Kusanagi really did something awesome. She pulled the top of that damn spider tank off it to the point where it just tore off one of her arms, and it kind of fucked up her legs and her one.
Well, she
other arm.
overstressed her body to get that thing
Yeah.
off of there.
Yeah, to stop it from shooting, whoever is shooting that.
Koos, I think it was.
Yeah, Koos is who it was. And Alita, of course. Not sure that which one of these is more powerful, the spider tank or the Centurion. I think it looked like the guns on the spider tank might have been a higher caliber. I'm
Well,
not
the spider
sure.
tank seemed to be an actual tank, and it had the missiles as well.
Yeah. Whereas this thing
The
had a Gatling gun and a machine gun, maybe, but that's
yeah, it had like a small caliber cannon and that heavy machine gun.
yeah.
Yeah, the Centurions definitely seem to be maybe light anti-vehicle with anti-personnel. And
Yeah.
the tank seemed to be able to fight other armored vehicles.
Yeah. The question would become, could Alita take out a spider tank? I think she could.
Oh yeah, I think she would be able to.
Yeah, because of that plasma weapon she has, she can slice.
Well, you look
right
at where
through 'em.
the weapons were on the spider tank, on the head, and
Yeah.
it had to turn itself to get the head into position to be able to fire on a target. And it was not a fast mover.
No. Well, neither is the Centurion.
No, but their upper body seemed to be able to rotate, so it's more of
Yeah,
a
that's
turret, it
right.
looked like.
Yeah, that's right. I think probably the spider tank could rotate its turret maybe 30 degrees.
Well, the
maybe.
head could articulate. It could move the
Yeah.
head, but it still
the
had
fi-
a fairly limited range of motion on the neck.
Yeah,
So
they
it had
had
to turn the entire body to get more range of motion around.
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Whereas I think the Centurion had a greater range of motion, so
Seemed like it.
yeah. But yeah, I think Alita wouldn't have to pull the top of that thing off like Kusanagi did, which was awesome.
Yeah,
She
just stab
pulled
her
that off,
plasma charged blade through it.
that's right. She could just cut through it like butter. I don't care how thick that armor is, that plasma is going to cut that thing.
Mhm.
It's going to just go right through it. Because I think a maximum temperature she could put on it was like 11,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 6,000 degrees Celsius, maybe.
I think it was about 15,000 degrees.
Oh, was it? Okay, whatever. But that's hot. That's really hot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
multiple times hotter than the surface of the sun. Well, I guess the surface of the sun, some of it's 1,000,000 degrees, but I mean the visual surface that we see is like 5,800 degrees or something like that. And Alita's plasma weapon can go up higher than that. So I mean, she'd cut right through that armor. Like she wouldn't have to pull the top of it like Motoko Kusanagi did. She'd just cut it, just cut it, slice it up,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was mistaken. Arc plasma can reach temperatures of 40,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, but I don't know if Alita's can or not.
Crazy.
Maybe it can, though. Holy crap, if that's the case. I mean, that's like more than 6 times hotter than the visible surface of the sun. I mean, holy shit. I mean, for one thing, what all Alita would have to do was cut one of its legs off. And then it couldn't, it wouldn't be able to move around. I mean, it could probably move the turret some.
Well, considering her mobility, she could easily just jump on top of the thing and stab it to the head, take out that control center.
Yeah. Kind of like she's doing there with that Centurion. She's
That's something that I often wonder about. It's like she seemed to know where to hit the thing to kill it in one hit.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? I wonder how she got that. But anyway,
If it was guesswork, it was a lucky guess.
With Motoko, I think she knows very exactly how these spider tanks work.
Yes.
About the techniques and the controller equipment and whatever.
Yeah.
And what I like is the Alita vibes of Motoko in this situation. She doesn't take care about her own limbs.
Yeah.
It's only the goal to remove this controller unit.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the mission, right?
Yeah,
that's like Alita.
The mission.
Yeah, very objective oriented. I'm going to accomplish this. Yeah.
And the same with Alita in this situation. Yeah, she could be damaged, but she doesn't care. The only goal is stop this Centurion.
Yeah.
and I like this really.
Yeah. The one advantage I think Alita would have fighting a spider tank that Motoko wouldn't have is, for one thing, certainly she's got that plasma weapon. That's going to be a big advantage. But Motoko is not as fast as Alita is either. Alita,
Yeah, that's one of the things I was mentioning with Alita's mobility. Her speed and agility
yeah, I mean,
allowed
she
her
just
to reach
run around
areas.
the damn thing and slice it up. It wouldn't be,
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't be much of a fight, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
that thing moves too slow, you know, to shoot her, you know.
Yep.
Although Motoko took care of that spider tank, that's for sure.
Mhm.
And another thing, I guess, you know, fighting, here's another scene here. Of course, we know the scene she fought against Grishka in the alley and took his arm off. But on the right, what happened here is there was a meeting between the African representative and I guess it was a representative of Honka Robotics, I think. I don't know if it was what kind of manager they were. They might have been a salesperson or who knows, you know. But you remember that I guess it was more like a robot. I guess it was those geishas that was a robot. It was hack that guy, you know, and I guess, you know, kind of drained all the information out of his head, you know, killing him, I guess. And of course, there was like 6 or 8 guys with automatic weapons in there. Motoko Kusanagi broke in there and shot all of them. I mean, she just wiped them out. You know, they didn't stand a chance. And she had that invisibility thing going. Now she's not invisible there, but I mean, when she crashes through that wall there, which was, I think, glass is all it was, but or an opaque kind of glass. She crashes through that. And did you guys hear me? Did I fade out again?
No,
No.
Okay, all right. Because I saw a little circle thing go around.
Oh,
but
no,
yeah, she crashed through there and just shot all of them. Boom, 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 like that, you know, and they were all gone, you know. Alita did the same thing with the Centurions. Really, she didn't shoot them, but I mean,
she took them all on. Yeah.
Yeah, there was at least 10 Centurions in there. She took them out, you know, every one of them within 15 seconds, you know. I mean, it's pretty awesome, you know. So they're both of them have a great fighting skill, that's for sure, you know. And it was like, you know, an average human without training would be, you know, I mean, you'd be scared, you know, going against superior numbers like this, but it was like they just reacted, you know, Motoko just broke in there and just shot them all, you know, boom, 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 like that. And they're all gone, you know. And Alita did the same thing with the Centurion. She just ran around them and just cut them all to pieces, you know. So,
which I think gives you an idea of how her mobility would affect a fight if she were to go up against that spider tank.
Oh yeah, I think that spider tank wouldn't stand a chance against Alita in her berserker body, you know. In the doll body, it'd be another story, you know, because she wouldn't have that plasma weapon, and she's not as fast in the doll body, I don't think. So I'm not even sure that spider tank could take Alita out in her tuned body, even, you know. You know, but that berserker body certainly is pretty powerful, you know, and would definitely take that spider tank. It wouldn't be much of a fight. The fight would probably last.
Take that thing out so easily. It would take her 5 seconds.
Yeah, at 5 seconds max. I mean, really.
She's got to get to the thing first.
Yeah. Well, she's so fast, I don't think she'd have trouble getting to it. I mean,
yeah. What's her acceleration like, though? I suppose it is really quick as well.
Well, I know in the movie, I calculated her average speed in that
with
fight.
Skates on.
Yeah, well, not skates. When she was fighting the Centurions, you know, just measuring the floor, how far it was between each one and all that. And it was like, I calculated 125 miles an hour. I mean, that, you know, that's average speed, because she was jumping around and doing other stuff. Now in the manga, you know, she runs at Mach 6.5. And of course, there's nothing, that spider tank is not even going to stand any chance whatsoever if that's how fast she can really run, you know. I mean,
as I understand Ghost in the Shell thing with the spider tanks, they are finally or at the end
Yeah.
at least controlled by humans.
Yeah, that's right.
And they are mostly too slow to play that game.
Yeah. Well, Alita is so fast. Now, if in the manga, running at Mach 6.5, she can actually outrun the bullets because those bullets probably move about 3,000 feet per second. And that, you know, she can outrun those bullets. You know, I mean, if they shoot a bullet at her, if she's running, she's going to outrun it. You know, I mean, then turn around and go back and get it, you know, go back and kill the tank, you know. So if they even got a bead on her like that, I mean, she'd probably run circles around the damn thing, chopping it up, you know, and then like Lee said, she'd probably jump on top of it like Motoko did and just stick that blade down in there and that'd be the end, you know. So, or she just cut the barrels off the guns, you know. I mean, she's so damn fast, you know. I mean, it's just,
well, cutting the barrels off the guns isn't going to necessarily disable the gun. It might make it a little bit more dangerous to fire it, but it's not going to disable it.
Be that as it may, though, yeah, that thing, that spider tank, it's not. If 10 Centurions can't shoot her, that one spider tank's not going to be able to shoot her. That's not going to happen, you know. So, okay, and then of course this is what we were talking about. They are similar in some ways, but it's like Lee was saying. I think the Centurion's more of an anti-personnel type of weapon, whereas the spider tank is more of a armor piercing, more of a like a tank
designed to take on other heavy combat vehicles.
Yeah, that's right. So they're a little bit different like that in capability, you know. But if they fight Alita, it's neither one of them it's going to be the same result, you know.
They're fairly slow compared to a small, high-speed combatant.
Yeah. Armed with a plasma weapon. Yeah.
Do we know who controls Centurions?
They appear to be a form of limited and primitive AI.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, in the novelization, that's the way it describes them. So
yeah, they're basically a dumb computer.
Yeah.
Got to be fairly smart just to navigate the environment.
Well, relatively speaking, they're pretty advanced, yeah, but they aren't designed to really go into a lot of heavy thinking. Just like if somebody breaks a rule, kill that person.
Yeah. And its decision tree is going to be: is the rule breaking? Yes. Kill. No. Ignore.
And there was also a mention in the novelization from Hugo. He was. From his point of view, he was sort of kind of indirectly commenting on him that if you end up going too far off the ground, like say you take a bike and are jumping from one rooftop to another,
it'll shoot you.
That could end up triggering its defense protocols because you're too high off the ground, so it counts you as a flying target and kills you.
But think about one thing about Motoko Kusanagi was so awesome. That spider tank is much more heavily armored, I think, than the Centurion is. And
I wouldn't doubt it, yeah.
Yeah, she pulled the top of that thing off.
Well, she had a weak point to go after.
Yeah, that's true.
So a hatch like that is definitely going to be a weak point, even in a heavily armored vehicle.
Yeah. It's going to be a weak point, but it ain't going to be weak, not by human standards.
Well,
anyway.
Certainly weaker than the rest of it. But yeah, she had to wreck her body just to get that thing off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Alita wouldn't have to do that. Alita just chop it up.
That's the other thing. Alita probably wouldn't even need the sword. She used her bare hands with the plasma around him.
That's right. She could just burn it up. All right, guys. Well, gosh, we've been going on for a couple hours, so we've about done anyway. And of course, we do have there is an anime and a manga, I think. I think there is a manga on Ghost in the Shell, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
I could not tell you. I only know about the animated movies and the series.
Yeah. Well, anyway, of course, we do know Alita's got an anime and a manga. And I do think that Alita in the manga and the anime are similar to what's in the movie, because I think Cameron and Rodriguez they really stayed true to the the basic premise behind Alita. I'm not so sure. I have never seen. I've seen a bit of one of the anime episodes on Ghost in the Shell, and of course I couldn't tell, you know. But Matu said they're totally different, so you know, I don't know. So. All right. Well, I guess none of us know enough about, you know, Ghost in the Shell anime to really talk about it that much.
Afraid not. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not I. At least I don't.
I mean, no, I've only seen the anime and the movies, seen a little bit, but
yeah,
and not that often.
Yeah. Let's see.
What it's only 3 volumes for the Ghost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Ghost in the Shell's only got 3 volumes, as opposed to our girl has got how many? 38. Something like
numerous volumes,
yes.
A very short anime in a single movie, whereas I think Ghost in the Shell is the complete opposite. Very few manga volumes, but a lot of movies and series.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, that's what we're going to have to do, Svendrik, Lottie, and Lee. We're going to have I guess, a watch party on the gaming network, you know, for one of the anime episodes. That'd be kind of cool, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And if Lottie wants to see the movie again, we can watch it too. So, you know, it's okay. Because we watched Svendrik and I watched the Star Trek episode after we watched Ghost in the Shell. So,
yeah, I love this too. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, you know.
But you're feeling very old after watching this.
Nah, man, you're not old. Hey, if I'm not old, you're not old.
Okay, I would agree.
So anyway, I guess that's going to kind of wrap it up. Just one a thing to add here is they're both really similar in a lot of ways. You know, I mean, certainly they got a little bit different capabilities, but Alita is, and this is a calculation I asked, I guess, Copilot about this. The human brain is about 2% of a body of a human, plus or minus, you know. So she's 98% cybernetic. Now with Motoko Kusanagi, she has a human brain as well, but her spinal cord is also, you know, human. So, and it's very light according to the Copilot. So she's 2.5% human and 97.5% cybernetic. So
5.5% more human than Alita, I guess.
It's not,
or more organic than Alita.
Yeah, that's right. Which is not saying a whole lot, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's still, pretty much you round up to 98%, I guess. So, yeah, but they're both very similar characters in a lot of ways. It almost makes me wonder if I can't recall who wrote Ghost in the Shell, but I think that came after Alita, didn't it? If I'm not mistaken, if they used it as kind of like a, you know, inspiration or something like that, perhaps, you know. And of course, certainly I like our queen as the actress for Alita. She's great, but I like Scarlett Johansson too. She's really great. She's a good actress herself, you know. I mean, it's no
and she has
like a lot of her movies
for it.
Yeah, Alita's eyes are better. Yeah, I agree. You know, I never understood that. The haters, of course, I came in on the tail end of that with some of you that were in the Alita Arby before me, but I never understood why they hated those eyes, because I mean, yeah, they're bigger, okay, but so what? You know, who gives a crap? You know,
a lot of it was forced by like the media, like exaggerating people's reactions to it. Like a couple of people would be on Twitter saying like, "Oh, her eyes look weird," and then they'd be like, "People are saying," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always did that to this movie, and a lot of people just follow trends and they like think it's funny to like. So there were memes and stuff, and a lot of people are just sheep, so they just went along with it, even when the movie came out and she obviously looked glorious. They were just too like locked into the, oh my god, Alita with the big eyes, and that's all they could think.
Well, I know when I first saw her eyes, when she opened them the first time I saw the movie, I thought they were really pretty. You know, that's
I don't know. Yeah, it's like crazy not to have any other reaction than that. It's just nuts. Like,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with you mentally.
Yeah, there is something wrong with these people.
She's obviously
Definitely.
really beautiful
Yeah.
in every way, inside and out.
Yeah,
And a
it's not as
stunning
if
artistic
we're
creation.
heavily biased or something.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't mean we're not right. And
Right.
I'm seeing so much love for Alita coming in now. Loads of like amazing reactions.
That's
I was
always
just
a
going
good,
on threads,
always good, yeah.
Blue
Yeah, it
Sky
is.
coming in all the time.
Yeah.
The
I was
Netflix
checking
effect.
Netflix just now. I still can't see it
Mhm.
on my feed.
Well, no, because you're in America, Lee.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Americans
Are
got
they not
sharp-
going to?
Well, America and
You're being
Canada.
punished for letting the box office down. The
Yeah.
world is being given the gift of Alita, but you got.
I ran my bank account to the zero.
Oh
going
shit!
up.
Yeah, I didn't mean you personally, obviously. God, that must really sting. Yeah, obviously we went crazy trying to help it.
Yeah.
We
Alita's
deserve
not.
medals.
Alita's not on Netflix in America or Canada.
So is it
No.
not coming to Netflix in America?
No plans
No.
that I'm
Okay.
aware of.
I
So
think
it's
it's
only
on
gonna
Hulu
be-
though. I think it's on Hulu.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
and
Yes.
in the
Well, then
Hulu,
I'm going to
Disney
be
basement.
stuck watching either the copy I bought on YouTube or my Steel Box
Yeah.
edition. So I guess I'll have to pass with that.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to buy a copy of Alita from YouTube, you just go to my channel. You can buy or rent it. Just click on it.
There you go.
Yeah. What's this we got going here? Bad
Buy
man.
those Blu-rays, baby.
Cinebinge. I haven't heard
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Cinebinge. Yeah.
Lots of new reactions coming in. The stream should be. We'll have loads of news. Has Angela's got all the articles sorted out?
I have no idea. He said he was going to come on today, and he said, "I'm going to get up. I'm going to make sure I don't oversleep. I promise I'll come on." He didn't do it.
Well, unfortunately, I think I have to go. I was supposed to go over to my girlfriend's for dinner here soon.
Oh,
you should go.
oh, you can't
Late, I'm
miss
tired.
that. I got a dinner to do too here. So
Yeah.
so anyway,
Need to
I
get
guess
up
we
to
can
bed.
move on. I guess. Anyway, any other topics, guys, that you can think of? I can't think of any.
No, we got tomorrow too to discuss it. So we got
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I am
fine
looking
to
forward to
discuss all the
seeing,
topics we want.
hearing your feedback on the next chapter, because that's
Absolutely.
when Jason finally gets his cybernetics.
Oh, I can't wait to read that. That's going to be great. Yeah.
I hope so. I've gotten
Yeah.
some pretty good feedback on it so
I
far.
want him to get a little bit of not frisky, but a little, kind of
Not be stuck in a wheelchair, stuck inside the clinic, not able to go out anywhere.
Well, kind of get in. Oh, here's Finn. Now Finn's coming on now as we're leaving.
Sorry,
Hey,
a little
Ben.
late.
No, it's
My
great.
headphone is good.
The post-credit scene featuring
Yes.
Finn.
Yes.
Credits. But it's a picture time.
Well, anyway,
So-
I guess did we miss anything, you guys?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
did
no.
Finn, did you want to add
Other
anything?
than Finn, did we miss anything other than Finn?
Yeah.
What did you want to say, Finn?
I see all.
Cool.
Okay.
I miss all. I'm too late.
So no Stammtisch.
And there's always
today?
next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't,
well,
I
yes,
can't do
Matt.
I can't do
I
stuff.
thought you came on to announce something.
Okay.
Next
Just
Friday,
say,
I'm coming.
just announce your love for Alita, and then we'll end the stream.
Yeah. Well, no, we got to go through the thing. Yeah, no stomp
Oh,
tish today because I got to go
ending
somewhere.
slides.
So, yeah. So anyway, but next week we will have a stomp tish. That's kind of like an after party, where if people come on, we're not streaming.
Explain it
you just-
again. Yeah, explain
Yeah.
it again to Buddy
You told me to
and
stay around for that.
I'll be back next Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
that's
Come on,
cool.
just shoot the shit with us, and you can.
I'm like a Terminator.
Yeah, and then you won't be streamed, and you won't have to worry about it. So anyway, I guess you can see from that middle panel there that Alita does love her Uncle Creek, and that is because he has an antagonist on here, and he's got and some other cool stuff. So anyway, but he wants a sequel. Yeah,
It's like avocado.
That's right. It's like avocados. That's right. So anyway, but she loves her Uncle Creek because he wants a sequel, just like everybody else does. And what's Smendrick got going over here? Smendrick. Yeah, there it is.
Oh yes, nice picture.
Yes. Cool.
Wait.
And there's our queen, as you can see. And, you know, of course, I like giving her a shout out every
Yeah,
week.
Vladdy.
Yeah, you guys have both got it on there. We
There
can
you
see
go.
that. I'm
So
trying
you
to
want to
wrap
say
it
good
up.
night to her, everyone?
Yes.
Say good night. Good night,
night.
Queen Studios
Good
leader.
night.
Good
Alita.
Thank you.
night.
Good night,
Appreciate that.
Alita.
Good
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Still no sequels, baby.
We're getting
Baby.
there. So anyway,
Are we not there? Oh.
shout out to our queen, and of course, shout out to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher. We want all three of them in the sequel, and you know they deserve it because they're all really good at what they do. You know. So anyway, tomorrow I don't know who. See, Angelus is not on, so I don't know this shit. So anyway, but we are going to have a. You know, Alita versus the AR series. That's the Alita replicants. Who wins? So I guess we're going to have like a little discussion about who wins between Alita and all 12 or all 12 of the ARs, and you know that'll be a lot of fun, I think. And of course, we just want to thank everybody for coming on and. You know, joining us on the stream here. We had a lot of fun today, and we're going to continue to have fun on the stream until we get those sequels. Disney, give us our damn sequels for Christ's sake.
No, then we'll have even more fun.
God damn.
Yeah, then we'll have more fun. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
So, okay, and we are the Alita Army. We are the most positive fandom on the internet, and we support Alita and our Queen Rosa passionately and positively. And Disney, we are the Alita Army, and we are here to stay until you give us these sequels. And then once you give us the sequels, we will spend our money to come see them. So, you know, come on, Disney, give it to us.
We never sleep.
That's right. Okay, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because the Creek likes it, and that's because I not only am I the stream manager, but I'm the janitor as well. So, you know, I'm all that stuff. So, and to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. And that only leaves us with one thing to do, and that is the call to action. And that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fill
those sequels,
baby. Boy, that's better than we usually do it. So anyway, we'll catch you next weekend on the Alita live stream, and we'll catch you tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye for now.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.